Have you ever stopped to consider what happens if the power goes out and stays out? Not for a few hours, but for days, weeks, or even longer. For many of us, especially those of us who have earned our retirement and are looking to enjoy these golden years in peace, the idea of a prolonged crisis is unsettling. We've seen the news. We've seen how quickly supply chains can snap under pressure. A hurricane, a severe winter storm, a cyber attack on the grid. These aren't just hypothetical scenarios anymore. They are real possibilities that threaten our comfort and safety. When these events happen, the general public often panics. They rush to stores that are already emptying out, fighting over the last loaves of bread and bottles of water. But there is a different group, the prepared, the smart. These are the people who sleep soundly at night because they know their pantry is stocked, their medications are refilled, and their home is secure. They don't scramble, they wait it out in comfort. Now, when we talk about emergency preparedness, a lot of people immediately think of expensive military-grade gear. They imagine bunkers, freeze-dried meals that cost a fortune, and complex filtration systems. And while those things have their place, they are not the foundation of a practical survival plan for the average retiree. You don't need to spend your life savings to be safe. In fact, the most effective survival items are often the ones you already know and use. They are affordable, accessible, and incredibly practical. Today, I'm not talking about obscure gadgets. I'm talking about 13 specific, essential items that every retiree should have in their survival pantry. These aren't just random objects. They are carefully chosen tools that address the unique needs of older adults. Ease of use, nutritional density, medical necessity, and comfort. These items are designed to keep you safe, healthy, and sane when the world outside gets chaotic. And the best part? You don't need to buy them all at once. You can build this stockpile slowly, item by item, integrating them into your regular shopping routine until you are fully prepared. So let's dive into the first and perhaps most critical category: hydration and purification. Item number 1, water storage containers. Water is life. We can survive weeks without food, but only days without water. Yet most people underestimate how much water they actually need. The standard recommendation is 1 gallon per person per day, but for retirees, especially those on certain medications or in warmer climates, you might need more. The issue isn't just having water, it's storing it safely and efficiently. You don't need fancy jerry cans. Simple food-grade plastic containers like the ones used for milk or juice can be cleaned and reused. Or you can invest in dedicated water bricks or stackable containers that fit neatly in a closet or under a bed. The key here is volume and accessibility. If you have mobility issues, you don't want to be lifting heavy 5-gallon jugs. Smaller, manageable containers are better. But storing water is only half the battle. What if your stored water runs out? Or what if the contamination event is widespread? That brings us to the next item. Item number 2, water purification tablets or drops. This is your insurance policy. If you find yourself needing to use water from a questionable source, a rain barrel, a local stream, or even tap water that has been compromised, you need a way to make it safe to drink. Boiling is effective, but it requires fuel and time. Purification tablets or drops are instant, lightweight, and incredibly easy to use. Look for products containing chlorine dioxide or iodine. They are small, cheap, and have a long shelf life. Keep a few hundred tablets in your kit. They take up almost no space, but they provide immense peace of mind. Knowing you can turn unsafe water into drinking water with a simple drop changes everything. It removes the fear of dehydration and allows you to be flexible in where you source your water. Now let's move from hydration to nutrition. Food is fuel, but for retirees, it's also about maintaining health and energy levels. We need foods that are easy to prepare, nutrient-dense, and gentle on the digestive system. Item number 3, canned fish, salmon and sardines. I mentioned canned goods in the introduction, but let's get specific. Canned fish, particularly salmon and sardines, is a powerhouse for retirees. Why? Because it's packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for heart health and brain function. As we age, maintaining cognitive function and cardiovascular health becomes a priority. Canned salmon provides high-quality protein and healthy fats without the need for cooking. And here's the best part. You can eat it straight out of the can. No heating required. If the power is out, you still have a gourmet, nutritious meal. Sardines are even better because they are low in mercury and high in calcium, especially if you choose the ones with bones. They are soft, easy to chew, and digestible. Stockpile a variety of flavors, lemon pepper, tomato sauce, olive oil, to keep things interesting. Variety is key to preventing food fatigue, which is a real psychological stressor during long-term emergencies. Item number 4, canned beans and legumes. If fish is the premium option, canned beans are the workhorse. They are incredibly affordable, have a massive shelf life, and are loaded with fiber, protein, and complex carbohydrates. Fiber is essential for digestive health, which can become an issue when stress levels are high and activity levels are low. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, and lentils are all excellent choices. They are versatile. You can eat them cold, mix them with rice, or mash them into a spread. They provide sustained energy, preventing the blood sugar spikes and crashes that come from sugary snacks. And unlike fresh beans, which require hours of soaking and cooking, canned beans are ready to eat. Just pull the tab, and you're done. Look for low-sodium versions if you have blood pressure concerns. But remember, in a true survival situation, the sodium is less of a concern than the calories and nutrients. Item number 5. Instant oatmeal and whole grains breakfast is important. It sets the tone for the day. Instant oatmeal is a retiree's best friend in an emergency. It requires only hot water, which you can heat on a camping stove or even a candle heater if necessary. It's warm, comforting, and full of soluble fiber, which helps regulate cholesterol and blood sugar. Pair this with other whole grains like cracked wheat or quinoa flakes. These cook quickly and provide essential B vitamins, which are vital for energy production and nerve function. Stress depletes B vitamins, so replenishing them is crucial. Having a warm bowl of oatmeal in the morning can provide a sense of normalcy and routine, which is psychologically grounding when everything else is uncertain. Item number 6. Powdered milk or shelf-stable milk boxes. Calcium is non-negotiable for bone health. Many retirees rely on milk for their daily calcium intake. But fresh milk spoils quickly and requires refrigeration. The solution? Powdered milk or shelf-stable UHT milk boxes. Powdered milk has a long shelf life and is lightweight. You just add water. Modern powdered milk tastes much better than it did decades ago. It can be used in coffee, oatmeal, or baking. Shelf-stable milk boxes are even easier. Just pour and drink. They are perfect for those who don't want to deal with mixing powder. Having a reliable source of calcium and vitamin D ensures that you maintain bone density and muscle function, reducing the risk of falls and fractures during a crisis when medical help might be unavailable. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked until it's too late: medication and health supplies. Item number 7, a 90-day supply of prescription medications. This is the most critical item on this list. If you take daily medications for blood pressure, diabetes, heart conditions, or any other chronic issue, you cannot afford to run out. Most pharmacies only allow a 30-day supply, but you can ask your doctor for a 90-day supply. Explain that you are preparing for emergencies. Most doctors will understand and support this. Store these medications in a cool, dry place. Rotate them as you use them. Do not let them expire. If you have multiple prescriptions, organize them clearly. In a stressful situation, confusion can lead to missed doses or double dosing. Having a 3-month buffer gives you time to navigate supply chain disruptions without panic. It is your lifeline. Never compromise on this. Item number 8, a comprehensive first aid kit tailored for seniors. Standard first aid kits are great for cuts and scrapes, but retirees need more. Your kit should include supplies for chronic conditions. This means extra bandages for fragile skin, antibiotic ointment, pain relievers, acetaminophen and ibuprofen, antacids, antidiarrheal medication, and laxatives. Digestive issues are common during stress, and having relief on hand is essential. Also, include a digital thermometer, blood pressure monitor, and glucose test strips if you are diabetic. Know how to use them. Practice using them now. In an emergency, you may need to monitor your vitals more closely. Add a pair of tweezers, scissors, and medical tape. And don't forget a copy of your medical records, including a list of your medications, allergies, and doctor's contacts. Keep this in a waterproof bag. If you need to evacuate or see a new doctor, this information is invaluable. Let's shift gears to comfort and morale. Survival isn't just about staying alive, it's about staying sane. Item number 9, coffee, tea, and comfort foods. Never underestimate the power of a cup of coffee. For many retirees, the morning ritual of coffee or tea is a cornerstone of daily life. Removing it can cause withdrawal headaches and irritability. Stockpile your preferred coffee, tea bags, or even instant coffee. It provides caffeine for alertness and a sense of normalcy. Along with this, keep some comfort foods, chocolate, hard candy, or your favorite cookies. These aren't just treats, they are morale boosters. In a high-stress environment, a piece of chocolate can lift your spirits and provide a quick energy boost. It's a small luxury that makes a big difference in mental resilience. Don't feel guilty about stocking up on these items. They are part of your psychological survival toolkit. Item number 10, battery-powered or hand-crank radio. Information is power. When the internet goes down and cell towers are overloaded, how will you know what's happening? A battery-powered or hand-crank radio is your link to the outside world. Look for a NOAA weather radio that also receives AM/FM broadcasts. The hand crank feature is crucial because batteries eventually die. Being able to generate your own power ensures you always have access to news, weather updates, and emergency broadcasts. Listen for instructions from local authorities. Know when it's safe to go outside, where to find aid, and what hazards to avoid. This device reduces uncertainty, which is a major source of anxiety. Knowledge allows you to make informed decisions rather than guessing. Now let's address the physical environment. If the power goes out, your home can become uncomfortable or even dangerous. Item number 11, LED lanterns and headlamps. Darkness is disorienting and dangerous, especially for older adults with vision issues. Tripping and falling in the dark is a serious risk. You need reliable lighting. LED lanterns are better than flashlights because they provide 360-degree illumination, allowing you to see your entire room. They are also hands-free, which is important if you need to carry things or stabilize yourself. Headlamps are equally important. They keep your hands free for tasks like cooking, first aid, or moving debris. Choose models with red light settings, which preserve night vision and are less disruptive to others if you are sharing a space. Stockpile extra batteries, or better yet, choose rechargeable models that can be charged via solar panels or hand cranks. Light provides safety and confidence. It turns a scary, dark house into a manageable living space. Item number 12, warmth solutions, blankets and chemical heat packs. Hypothermia is a silent killer. even in moderately cool temperatures. If the heating system fails, your home can get cold quickly. Older adults are more susceptible to cold because our bodies regulate temperature less efficiently. You need backup warmth. Stockpile Mylar emergency blankets, which reflect body heat, and heavy wool or fleece blankets. But the game changer is chemical heat packs. These are small packets that generate heat when exposed to air. They last for several hours and can be placed in gloves, boots, or against your core. They are lightweight, inexpensive, and require no fuel. Having a box of these can mean the difference between shivering all night and sleeping comfortably. Also, consider having a warm sleeping bag rated for low temperatures. It's an extra layer of security against the cold. Finally, let's talk about hygiene and sanitation. This is often the most neglected aspect of preparedness, but it's crucial for preventing illness. Item number 13, hygiene and sanitation supplies. When the water stops running, flushing the toilet becomes a problem. Poor sanitation leads to disease. You need a plan. Start with heavy-duty trash bags and buckets. You can create a makeshift toilet by lining a bucket with bags and adding cat litter or sawdust to absorb waste. It's not pleasant, but it's necessary. Beyond that, stockpile wet wipes, hand sanitizer, and soap. Waterless hygiene is essential. You need to keep your body clean to prevent skin infections and maintain dignity. Include toothbrushes, toothpaste, and feminine hygiene products if applicable. Don't forget laundry detergent pods for hand-washing clothes. Clean clothes prevent chafing and infection. Maintaining hygiene is a sign of self-respect and health discipline. It keeps you feeling human when circumstances try to strip that away. Now, having these 13 items is only half the battle. How you store and manage them is just as important. I've seen too many people buy supplies, stuff them in a corner, and forget about them until they expire or rot. That is wasted money and false security. Here are the best practices for managing your survival pantry. First, use the FIFO method. First in, first out. This is the golden rule of inventory management. When you buy new supplies, put them at the back of the shelf and move the older items to the front. This ensures you are always using the oldest items first, keeping your stock fresh. It integrates preparedness into your daily life. You aren't just storing food, you are eating it. This rotation prevents waste and ensures that what you have is always ready to eat. Second, control your storage environment. Heat, light, and moisture are the enemies of longevity. Store your items in a cool, dark, and dry place. A basement closet, a pantry away from the oven, or a dedicated storage room is ideal. Temperatures between 50 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit are optimal. Avoid attics or garages where temperatures fluctuate wildly. Extreme heat can degrade nutrients and shorten shelf life. Moisture can cause cans to rust and packages to mold. Keep your supplies off the floor on shelves to protect against potential flooding and pests. Third, inspect your containers regularly. Check for dents, bulges, or rust on cans. A dented can, especially along the seam, can compromise the seal and allow bacteria in. Bulging cans are a sign of botulism and must be discarded immediately. For dry goods, check for signs of pest infestation, such as holes in packaging or droppings. If you see anything suspicious, throw it out. It's better to lose a can of beans than to risk food poisoning. Fourth, know your shelf lives. While best buy dates are often conservative, they are good guidelines. Generally, canned goods last 2 to 5 years, sometimes longer. Dry goods like rice, beans, and oats can last 10 to 30 years if stored properly in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers. Water, if stored correctly, can last indefinitely, but it's good practice to rotate it every 6 to 12 months to ensure freshness. Medications should be strictly monitored for expiration dates. Do not use expired medications unless it is an absolute last resort and you have consulted a medical professional, as their potency may have decreased. Fifth, customize your stockpile to your dietary needs. If you are diabetic, focus on low glycemic foods. If you have dental issues, prioritize soft foods like soups, stews, and canned fruits. If you have food allergies, read labels carefully. Don't stockpile wheat if you are gluten intolerant. This is your personal survival plan, not a generic one. Buy what you will actually eat. If you hate Brussels sprouts, don't buy canned Brussels sprouts. You won't eat them in an emergency, and they will go to waste. Choose foods you enjoy and that agree with your body. Sixth, diversify your sources. Don't rely solely on canned goods. Incorporate freeze-dried meals, dehydrated foods, and bulk dry goods. Freeze-dried meals are lightweight and have a 25-year shelf life, making them great for long-term storage. Dehydrated fruits and vegetables are nutritious and save space. Bulk rice and beans are cost-effective calories. A mix of these options ensures you have variety and redundancy. If one source fails or becomes unavailable, you have others. Seventh, practice using your supplies. Don't wait for an emergency to open your first can of sardines or use your hand crank radio. Try them now. Cook a meal with your stored food. Test your lanterns. Charge your devices. This builds familiarity and confidence. You'll learn what you like and what you don't. You'll discover if you need a can opener that is easier to use. You'll realize if your radio is too complicated. Practice reveals flaws in your plan when there is no pressure to fix them. Eighth, keep a written inventory. It's hard to remember what you have and when it expires. Keep a simple spreadsheet or a notebook listing your items, quantities, and expiration dates. Update it every time you rotate stock. This makes shopping easier and ensures you don't overbuy or underbuy. It gives you a clear picture of your preparedness level at a glance. Ninth, involve your family or community. If you live with a spouse or partner, make sure they know where everything is and how to use it. If you live alone, consider connecting with neighbors. A community approach to preparedness is stronger than an individual one. You can share resources, skills, and security. Knowing your neighbors have your back adds a layer of safety that no amount of canned food can provide. 10th, stay informed and adapt. Preparedness is not a one-time event. It's a lifestyle. Stay updated on new products, techniques, and threats. Attend local preparedness workshops. Read blogs and watch videos like this one. Adjust your stockpile as your health needs change. If your doctor prescribes a new medication, add it to your list. If you develop a new food sensitivity, adjust your food choices. Be flexible and proactive. In conclusion, preparing for emergencies doesn't have to be overwhelming or expensive. By focusing on these 13 essential items, you are building a foundation of safety and resilience. You are taking control of your future. You are ensuring that no matter what happens outside your door, you will be warm, fed, hydrated, and healthy. Remember, the goal is not to live in fear, but to live with confidence. When you know you are prepared, you can enjoy your retirement with peace of mind. You can weather the storm, literally and figuratively, with grace and dignity. Start small. Pick one item from this list and add it to your next grocery shopping trip. Then another. Before you know it, you will have a robust survival pantry that serves you well. And if you want to see how some of these items hold up over time, check out my previous video where I tested canned goods that were 7 years past their expiration date. The results might surprise you. Link is in the description. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay prepared, and take care of each other. We'll talk to you next time.